For an alienated parent, reunification therapy will fix everything, right? Unfortunately, that's not true. Today, we are alienation myth busting. Hey, this is Ryan Thomas, an adult child of parental alienation who discovered the truth and reconnected. And so many parents put so much time, effort, focus, waiting, trying to get that reunification therapy, believing that once that happens and the child is there, everything will start to magically be put back together. And unfortunately, there are many different aspects in which you aren't in control of that you need to be aware of when putting all of your hopes and efforts in reunification therapy. First and foremost, reunification therapy is mainly dependent on the willingness of not only the child to engage in that therapy, but also for the alienator to bring the child to that therapy. And even if it is court ordered, oftentimes an alienator, very unsurprising to you probably, does not always follow the court order, does not always go ahead and make sure that the child comes to reunification therapy. There are delays, there are excuses, there are reasons that the child can't come. And also, if the child ultimately says, I don't want to come, I don't want to see my parent, I don't want to talk to them, it is a very difficult time to get the child, to force the child to come to reunification therapy. So you put all this time and effort and you have the opportunity to actually go forth with the reunification, and the child may not come, and there's really no way to force the child to come. Then let's go ahead and say that everything aligns and the child actually does come to the reunification therapy. Your thought is this therapist is going to understand how to communicate, how to bridge the gap between a parent and a child, you and your child, and begin to have that conversation going when the child is already been conditioned to not want to communicate with you. Or even if the child and you are in a room together with the reunification therapist, they also know that the alienator, that other parent, is perhaps right outside the door, waiting to see what happens. Listening, is there laughter? Why is there laughter after all that parent's done? Is there tears? What did they say? Why do they continue to hurt you? Why are they making you cry? So the child is already in a protective state. They are uncomfortable. They are afraid. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to react. So ultimately, they will shut down and they don't know what to say. And you, the alienated parent who is so thankful to have this FaceTime and this opportunity, you're sitting there and waiting. You're looking towards the therapist, the reunification counselor, who may or may not know how to handle this situation. They may ask the child, do you want to talk to your parent? Is there anything you'd like to say? And the kid says, no, I don't have anything to say. I don't want to talk. Then, once again, you're up to how talented, how skillful is the reunification counselor to actually engage and open that conversation. Then at the same time, let's not go worst case scenario. Let's say that there is a little bit of openness and the child will start talking, or the reunification therapist will start talking, will start opening the conversation, opening the dialogue. The problem with this opportunity is that you may only get 1, 2, 3, who knows how many opportunities to make an impression, to change the story. So do you know what to say? How do you avoid saying the same things that have been used against you in the past? How do you avoid saying things that trigger and upset the child? How do you avoid saying and doing and repeating the same habits, words, phrases, and dynamic that has been happening, that has caused the alienation to proceed? Once again, you're in a position where you're hoping that the alienator brings the child. The child will be agreeable to it. The child will open up to it. The counselor knows how to engage and unlock things. The counselor knows how to talk. Then you hope that you show up in this highly stressful situation where you don't know the right or wrong things to say. Here is your opportunity, right? Where perhaps the alienator is even saying, well, this is your one chance. Are you going to know what to do? Are you going to make it right? And you don't know what the right thing is to say. How would you? Everything you've tried, everything that makes logical sense hasn't been working, has only dug you in deeper. And you're not getting the lifeline from the therapist that you were hoping for. So here, this opportunity has multiple points of failure and multiple points where it can go off the rails. What happens when the child starts regurgitating all of the negative things that they've been told by the alienator? And they're like that puppet on a string talking. What do you say? Do you know those right things so that you don't get upset, so that you don't get triggered, so that that same cycle of emotion and reaction to them doesn't just play out in front of this therapist? At the same time, depending on whether this goes right, wrong, or whether it even got to happen, how do you communicate to a therapist? How do you lay any sort of foundation for your side of the story or what's going on? How do you make a good impression upon that therapist? How do you make sure that the alienator isn't getting the best of you, isn't already poisoning that therapist? And so I bring this up because there are so many unknowns. There are so many things that are out of your control that just thinking and focusing that opportunity of reunification is going to help you, you have to be prepared. You have to be prepared for all of the eventual outcomes, what to do as a contingency plan, how to communicate within that session, how to communicate to the child, how to communicate in front of the therapist, how to leverage your own influence and communication abilities to the therapist, so that you can start to tell your own story, so that you can maximize every single opportunity that you have. So it's just really, really important that you understand the risks, understand what's going on, put yourself in the best possible position to maximize this moment, to put yourself in a position where the child can be receptive to what you want to say, so you know exactly how to say it, how to prepare for it, how to deliver the communication, what you can say and do, even in the face of further rejection, really hard things to hear. And also, if you get the feeling that the therapist is starting to side with the alienator or side with the child, and then it feels like there's a gang up, a collective gang up. Yeah, the alienator might not be in the room, but all of a sudden it feels like a new person who's buying into the lies, buying into all of the mistruths and brainwashing about you. And now the therapist starts looking at you, and the therapist questions are a little more cutting. How do you not get defensive? How do you not want to stand up for yourself? Or show that, here's documents, here's proof, here's receipts. That is where this opportunity that you have longed for perhaps doesn't go in the way that you intended or the way that you hope for. I look at this as every opportunity to communicate with your child is one step. It's planting a seed. One opportunity gets the next opportunity, gets the next opportunity. So if you find yourself in a situation where you're thinking about this, or whether it's on the horizon or not, and you're looking for what to do, what to say, how to prepare yourself, what's your game plan going in, what are you going to say, what are the different plan A, plan B, plan C, so that you can be proactive and know what to say to maximize the moment to not only you, but also a reunification therapist, go ahead, click the link below this video where you can learn more about getting help from me. So I will leave you here with that information. We've definitely busted the myth that everything is going to be fixed on its own, and given you a pathway for getting the help that you need if that's what you're looking for. So I'm Ryan Thomas. Thank you so much, and I will see you on another video. Hey, it's Ryan Thomas. Thanks so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel, and it also helps to spread the word. Be sure to watch other videos from this channel, and also check below this video for other resources and links to help.